It does, though not impossible. And as I say that, we just do have a move here, actually.
And it's the local rider. It's our rider number 45, who's from good cycling stock, Leah Lynn Teutenberg. And she has company as well, because it's the third British rider. It's Katie Archibald. Zooms past, stays ahead. And of course, last week she decided to get out there and win it with an attack late on. This time, she's trying to go ahead, and she's forced the league leader to follow her.
Yes, this is very interesting. So we can just see, this is Katie Archibald here. Jennifer Valente in the pale blue kit here. It's just out of shot at the moment. She is the overall race leader, and she has had to respond here. She is now just coming up to the wheel of Katie Archibald. She realises this is a huge threat to her lead if Katie goes on the attack.
Just marking Katie Archibald here. Of course, there's also the school of thought that she'll want to carry on with this move. And if she gets through and takes a lap, then she's more or less guaranteed at least second here. So she adds to her lead over everybody else, even if it's Archibald who wins this race and takes 20 points. Yeah,
exactly. So very smart riding here from Valente. She's marking the rider that she knows is a huge threat to her overall lead. At the moment, they've got about half a lap gap on the bunch. Not quite, at least a third of a lap gap on the bunch. So work to do if they want to gain this lap. As we were saying, shorter bike race, harder to gain the lap.
They did look like they were taking something, but there's been a reaction in the peloton just away from your picture. You're looking at Valente, of course, on board with the league leader. Just behind her, Katie Archibald. They're swapping off turns, working together, and not really advancing at the minute. It's still that third to half a lap gap. Almost halfway through the race now. This one really does fly by, Joe.
It does fly by very, very quickly, which keeps it interesting for us, but difficult for the riders to sort of plan your tactics coming into this. A lot of riders will have come into this race expecting a sprint, gone for that big gear. Now there's these two riders in a breakaway, and it's hard work to sort of keep accelerating on that big gear. It's far better to be able to wind it up gradually. So work to do for the bunch currently.
Little bit of a hesitation there in the bunch going through that back straight, and the gap now has gone to exactly half a lap.
Yes.
10 laps to go.
Halfway through the bike race. If they stay ahead like this, they'll get first and second. If they stay half a lap up on the field, if they lap the field, then again, they'll still get first and second. The big question is, can the bunch capture them? If they do, they're going to both be exhausted for what will then be a sprint at the end. So if they stay away or gain the lap, it doesn't really matter. They'll be the top two.
A reminder that last week Katie Archibald was awesome in the scratch race.
She was.
And then just could not have anything, didn't turn up for the Devil, eliminated first. That was the big shock of the night.
It was a big shock, which I brought up to her in an interview earlier, which didn't particularly please her. So she's obviously out to make amends this evening, and rather than sitting and wait for the sprint, she's going for this lap gain, and they are gaining. They've got about 2/3 up on the bunch at the moment.
Of course, we're watching the two leaders here, but there was another big hesitation from the bunch as nobody really wanted to put the pressure on. And I think in the bunch now, they're probably realising that they're not going to get these two back by the end of the race now with 6 laps to go. And they're thinking about 3rd, 4th and 5th place and the points they can gain themselves.
Yeah, because they're really crucial points still available for you to get a top 10 overall in this scratch race. So rather than do work on the front at the moment and try and stop them gaining a lap, you're better off sitting in and getting yourself ready for the sprint. We've just got through with 6 laps to go, with 5 laps to go next time. I think they're going to get this lap gain. Katie Archibald on the front at the moment, working really hard, and they're almost there.
All they have to do is get onto the back of the main bunch here. You can see they're about 20 metres from doing that. That turns into 15 metres now. One final effort that makes it 5 metres. 2 bike lengths. Here we go. There is contact. Valente and Archibald take the lap. They will be first and second. But we're looking for the first of those two riders now to cross the line. That gives us the race winner.
We are. It doesn't matter if they finish right at the back of this group or at the front of this group. It's between those two who's going to get the win. Everybody else is now racing for 3rd place.
So 3 laps to go now. We have the 2 riders who will contest the win in the main bunch here. That's because they have already lapped the field. They effectively are ahead in the race. But it's Archibald who tries to move up now, and she's not being tracked this time by Valente, who is the league leader. So Archibald looks the keenest to try and make sure she can take the win.
She does. Stenberg at the front at the moment, winding up. She was our elimination race leader.
Reaction too from one of the Australian riders. That looks to be Archibald moving up again, and I think that Valente is settling now for second place. She seems to be just off the back. Here we go. It's Katie Archibald who takes the win.